Review and study of the advanced technologies that the project is based on. This is the most boring part of the presentation, but unfortunately you will not completely understand the working principle of the whole project without it. This part of the presentation is designed for people who are indirectly familiar with the digital world. That is why I will not delve into the details of the technologies. I will try to explain major principles of their working, which are necessary for the project, without specific terms. I will try to make for specialists deeper analysis later, with showing examples of routing schemes, with the distribution of network load, possibilities of distribution, and saving big sizes of data, examples of programming code, etc. So let's start. Technologies. Hash sum. What is a hash sum? What is it for? How to get it? The protocol for transferring the data peer-to-peer. What is open source? What is cryptocurrency wallet and how this works? What is blockchain? What is smart contract? What is biometry? Hash sum. We live in an era of digital technologies. We are surrounded by familiar mobile phones, computers, laptops, and tablets. These devices help us to talk to each other at a distance, to send and receive emails, to watch photos and videos. All this information is given as independent files, which is possible to create, to save, to send, and delete. Each file in its basis is a sequence of bits. A bit is a minimal unit of information, measuring in binary system of calculation, which is able to receive only two types, 0 or 1. That is why all earlier mentioned technologies are called digital. The size of a file depends on the amount of these zeros and ones. The more a file has, the bigger it is. For each file, the sequence of bits is very important. If the sequence is changed, the file will be broken. In fact, when we send a file to someone, we just send a clear sequence of bits. So any file is a sequence of bits. And because bits are simple numbers, it is possible to do any mathematical action on them. That is actually what hash function does. And the result of it is a hash sum. Digest. The task of the hash function is to produce summing until their number becomes equal to a specific value for this specific hash function. For simplicity of perception, the hash sum is always represented in hexadecimal scale of notation. I simplified the algorithm of hash sum computation very much, because the goal of this scheme is to give you only basic understanding of the procedure. This example shows function crc32 with its output value, hash sum. Regardless of size of the input file, hash sum always equals to 32 bits or 4 bytes. 1 byte equals 8 bits. Hash functions are unilateral. We can get hash sum out of this file, but we can't get the file out of hash sum. There are numbers of hash functions in the digital world. The difference is in calculation algorithms and size of output hash sum. Any person on the planet has his unique fingerprint, just like any file has its unique hash sum. Unlike people, files can be copied multiple times. During hash sum calculation, using the same hash function of multiplied copy, on every computer, result will be the same as the hash sum of the original file, unless it was edited. This feature allows to protect any file from forgery. Knowing hash sum value, you can easily determine if you have real copy of original file or if it was edited. Using a free hashtag calculator, I got the hash sum for this picture. Using Photoshop, I changed tone in 1 pixel. It is invisible for the human eye, and calculated hash sum again. Please notice how big the difference is between hash sum of original and the edited file. 3 different algorithms were applied. To confirm it, I applied the same process for the text file. Hash sum is a very secure protection for any file from any forgery. Let's talk now about the peer-to-peer data transfer protocol, or so-called peer decentralized network, and what is the difference between it and a usual centralized network. Centralized network is based on using centralized servers and on the client-server applications working. A server is a simple computer which is constantly connected to the internet and has an external IP address that allows anyone to find and to connect to it through the internet. All data are kept on the server, where users can download them. If a file is deleted from a server or a server somehow becomes unavailable, users will not have the access to the information anymore. Furthermore, the downloading speed is limited by the throughput of the server and the load on it. In fact, many of you use the peer network often, because Skype and torrent clients work on this principle. There is no central server in a peer-to-peer network. Necessary files are kept in folders of users' computers, which are opened for common usage, and each computer can be a client to download the information or as a server to give the information. Herewith, a file can be downloaded by fragments from different sources at the same time. It allows to increase the downloading speed and to equally spread the loading on the whole network. There is no losing of an access and possibility to taking data in the network if any computer is broken. The reliability of the peer-to-peer network is directly proportional to the number of computers in the network. P2P network is a convenient way of file transfer. Unfortunately, it is almost impossible to determine copyright infringement because files are stored on all computers at the same time. It is impossible to switch all these devices off. Every member is responsible for distributing files. The term open source covers a wide range of areas of human activity. It is projects, methods, programs, and technologies which are opened, accessed, and can be developed and used by any person without any payments. But in the context of ENEBRA project, we will look at this term on an example of opened program source code. A person takes completely finished product while using such commercial programs like Windows or Mac OS. This product is impossible to change or to be 100% sure what the program does at some user's actions or by itself. We find out about the data that these programs collect and send only from visible external messages or licensed conditions. But it is impossible for us to confirm or to refute this information because the source code of these programs is not available for us. Unlike other commercial programs, there are program products with open source codes, including Linux and Android. Anyone who is interested can openly take the source code of the program and learn it completely. This fact makes us 100% sure what data collects the program and what actions it does with them. Open source license allows you to use, to modify, and spread such products for free and without a fear to break intellectual property or patent law. What is cryptocurrency wallet and how this works? An unknown person or group of people with a nickname Satoshi Nakamoto, has presented to the world a decentralized cryptocurrency called Bitcoin in 2008. 2nd of May 2016, an Australian entrepreneur, Craig Wright, publicly confirmed that he is the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto and the creator of Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin is just a small program with open source code, which it is possible and free of charge to download from the internet from the web resource GitHub to completely learn the source code and to install into a computer, a tablet, or a phone. It allows to do direct transactions, money transfer, between people in the internet, avoiding banks. It was called a Bitcoin wallet due to the possibility of the program to do transactions. There are 2 digital keys in Bitcoin wallet for transactions. Every wallet has its own unique digital chained key. The first key is for public use. It looks like a simple sequence of digits and symbols. It is an actual address of Bitcoin wallet available for every member of the network. Knowing these keys, people can send Bitcoins. When people send Bitcoins to somebody, they actually send the Bitcoin to a digital address. The second one is a secret key. It looks like a sequence of digits and symbols too.
What is blockchain?
And this key is actually a digital signature. Using this code, a person can send money from Bitcoin wallet. If someone gets your secret key, then they can send money from your wallet. This key should be kept in secret. The idea of a digital signature is not new. People have used it in internet banking for a long time.
What is blockchain?
The Bitcoin network uses data transfer protocol peer-to-peer. I showed in detail its work earlier. Actually, sending Bitcoins, a participant of the network just sends a message where is displayed the public key of a sender and a receiver. This message includes the sum of money transfer and is signed by a secret code of the sender. The messages are spreading through the whole Bitcoin network, and each numeral wallet automatically puts it into self-transaction register. The fact that the register has each member of the network significantly increases system safety from losing or falsification of data. Approximately once in 10 minutes, new block is generated. Every member can collect unconfirmed messages of money transactions, check it for correctness, and offer generated block to all network members. If this block will be the first and will comply with the rules of block creation, all transactions inside this block will get confirmed status, and every member of network automatically will add this block to the wallet, in addition to created blocks before. Each participant of the network has a clear sequence of all blocks in his wallet that were created during the whole existence of the network Bitcoin. The sequence of blocks is called as a blockchain. People who created this block gets generated with algorithms new Bitcoins as a reward. The system creates these Bitcoins as a gift for block creation. People who deal with it are called miners. The process called mining. There is an emission, creation of Bitcoins once in 10 minutes because of mining. Let's go through blocks and blockchain in more detail. The first block was created with the system launch on January 3, 2009. This block included just one transaction because system generated first 50 Bitcoins and sent it to the public key address of Craig Wright, the Bitcoin creator. This block went through hash function, and the output hash sum became a part of the next block. The process of hash function I described earlier. In this way, every following block contains hash sum of the previous block inside, If anyone tries to make changes inside the block, the hash sum will change, as in the example with the text file, and the blockchain will be destroyed. Because of the full blockchain information presence on all computers of the network, incorrect information will be denied automatically. In that case, the intruder has to synchronize with the system again. It is not possible to send or receive bitcoins until full synchronization. Today, there are 702 acting cryptocurrencies that were made by a principle and likeness of Bitcoin. This confirms the viability of the system once again. Strong and weak points of the practical work of Bitcoin became understandable in the last 8 years of practical work. Such factors belong to the strong points. Decentralization is an absence of an administrator and a server manager. It is based on peer-to-peer data transfer protocol. There is a peer-to-peer system of equal users. Blockchain is a reliable crypto protection of the integrity and the chain information sequence. Open source is an open source code that allows to use and modify the program free of charge and without breaking of copyrights, and on 100% to know about all the program's actions. Weak sites. Mining of Bitcoin requires a lot of computing resources, need too much electrical energy, motivates pools development that undermine the trust of network participants. During the blockchain explanation, I simplified mining description for your better understanding. The basis of mining is gambling. The winner gets new bitcoins as a reward. Bitcoins are much more valuable than the price of electricity spent. The loser pays for electricity spent during this game. Rules are very simple. Except of hash sum and collected transaction blocks has a number of random digits on its end. Hash sums are unilateral, and you cannot get original file out of it. Participants of this game generate random digits and try to fit it in block again and again. They do this process until generated hash sum meets all the conditions and fits. Approximately once in 2 weeks, the system makes automatic corrections. If blocks are divided faster than in 10 minutes, the goal becomes more complicated. If less than 10 minutes, less complicated. Because of high Bitcoin market price, people increase computer power and even create big computer farms using high amounts of energy. For peer-to-peer network, these expenses don't make sense. The main computer goal is to check transaction correctness and blockchain storage. These processes require minimal expense. The desire to earn bitcoins led to the creation of pools, an integration of members with mutual goal. The central server in this centralized system divides goals between pool members. As soon as the solution for the block was found, all earned bitcoins are divided between all participants according to their computer power. The fact that one server belongs to one or several people creates centralized system inside decentralized system. It undermines the trust of other participants in the system. The next big disadvantage is possible theft or loss of Bitcoin. All own or part of whole Bitcoin system assets. Impossible to determine the quantity of lost assets. Decentralized systems based on blockchain technology are invulnerable because it's impossible to get simultaneously control of biggest part of computers located all over the world at the same time. As well as other cryptocurrency programs, you can download Bitcoin program using different operating systems, such as Windows, Linux, Android, macOS. You probably have repeatedly faced system security updates. These updates related to correction of system issues that hackers use to get access to other computers. If a hacker gets Bitcoin wallet information, the key, he can use cryptocurrency. There are a lot of such situations in the real world, or a device could just be lost or stolen. Mobile devices can get out of order. In that case, people can lose digital wallet keys forever. Despite the fact that blockchain contains information of all transactions, cryptocurrency loss is a problem not only for the owner, but for the whole Bitcoin economy too. Also, in decentralized systems, it is impossible to count how much of cryptocurrency was lost forever. Another significant disadvantage of Bitcoin is full anonymity illusion. Environment for development of shadow and criminal transactions from the sale of drugs, weapons, contract killings, etc. Let's analyze anonymity within decentralized system. On the face of it, everything looks pretty much anonymously. There is no need to enter personal data into digital wallet programs. Network participants can see each other as a digital key, a random sequence of symbols and digits. Because of this fact, a lot of illegal trade sites, such as Silkway, were created. This site was used for selling drugs, weapons, fake documents, and money. This situation and the inability of tax control made some countries declare that cryptocurrency is illegal. But it was impossible for them to turn off the decentralized system. Actually, during purchase process, a person has to specify real physical address and receiver name to make the delivery process happen. If a person wants to exchange cryptocurrency to fiat money, bank account information is needed. In this case, all anonymity gets erased because the bank has all personal data. Due to these facts, there is no real anonymity in the cryptocurrency world. The next disadvantage is fiat money exchange requires currency regulations and limitations, which neutralizes cryptocurrency advantages. Initially, Bitcoin was conceived as an alternative to fiat money, and it should not be controlled by any government. It was until the moment when government declared Bitcoin as a currency. As soon as Bitcoin received an official currency status on a governmental level, every Bitcoin transaction became an official financial transaction. Any financial activity should be licensed and strictly controlled. In that case, countries who declared Bitcoin as an official currency on a governmental level got lawful opportunity to manage and control it. Because of the Bitcoin emission algorithmic process, creation, it is easy to know exactly how many Bitcoins exist in the system at any moment of time. Information about fiat money emission is hidden and unavailable for public. Due to this fact, people who have an access for fiat money emission can easily manipulate the market price of any cryptocurrency. One more significant disadvantage is it is impossible to take joint decisions in a decentralized network. We live in a fast-moving technology development era. We can see a significant memory and speed doubling inside processors, as well as creation of new high-speed communication protocols almost every day. Decentralized cryptocurrency systems initially have a fully finished complete algorithm that is designed to work until 2140 year minimum. It is even harder to imagine what kind of technologies will exist by then. I have learned everything about these decentralized systems, and any of don't have communication mechanism between network members for modification and improvement of created algorithms. Because of block enlargement necessity, Bitcoin system faced similar problems. Inability of joint decision-making made such a big amount of different cryptocurrency possible to exist. They have tiny differences in details. During creation of this video, 36 new cryptocurrencies have appeared. One more cryptocurrency disadvantage is clear, algorithmically prescribed emission of cryptocurrency, not necessary and not depend of system participants. As I mentioned before, Bitcoin system emission is based on algorithm. Emission is attached to block quantity in a blockchain system. After a certain quantity of blocks, emission process will be halved and it will decrease until the system fully stops in the year 2140. By that time, 21 million bitcoins will have been created. The algorithm does not take into account such things as quantity of members, human passion for accumulation, forever lost bitcoins because of lost accounts. Due to these causes, member quantity increasing will create shortage of assets. Next disadvantage refers to basic quantity of existing cryptocurrencies. Necessary of a physical participant of the network as a guarantor, which all participants of the transaction should trust. This disadvantage appears when people want or they're forced to make a transaction without physical contact. Let's look at it on this example. There are two members in a network. One of them wants to sell mobile phone, another has enough assets to buy it. Due to the reason that these people don't know each other, a logical question appears. Who will make dispatch first? If the mobile phone owner sends his product first, there is no guarantee that the buyer will pay for it. But the same situation if payment will be sent first. Significant guarantee-related complexity among participants appears. Because of this disadvantage, so-called guarantors appeared. These people openly provided their location and personal data information. In that way, participants could send product and money at the same time to these guarantors. The guarantor forwarded money and product to buyer and seller and earned commission for this job. If any of two sides did not fulfill agreement, didn't dispatch money or product, the guarantor simply sent received items back. With every completed transaction, guarantors received rating points and higher commission percentage. While using this way of transactions, there is still a high risk linked to human factors and force majeure circumstances. The next serious step of cryptocurrency development can be called Project Ethereum, that was made by Vitalik Buterin in 2014. The project made possible doing deals between absolutely unfamiliar people through including the smart contract app to the block. This idea fixed one of Bitcoin disadvantages described before. To make it easier, I will demonstrate it using our previous example. In this case, except for the buyer and seller, a third participant of the network should exist. It should be a person or company who can take transfer responsibilities. A digital contract similar to a paper one is being created in network. It includes terms of contract, mobile phone description, price, delivery, and returning details. Duration. In this part, described contract deadlines. Check. Unlike paper contract, digital contract has its own digital wallet. Depending on contract terms, this wallet can send or receive digital transactions. Signatures. As a paper contract. Smart contract should be signed with a private digital key. As soon as the digital contract is created and signed by three parties, the status becomes active until duration end. After block is created and added into a blockchain, the contract becomes active. According to contract terms, buyer makes a deposit of cryptocurrency sum equals to mobile phone price plus delivery and returning price. Participant, who takes delivery responsibilities, makes a phone price deposit. After block is closed and added to blockchain, contract gets paid status. Next step. Deliverer receives mobile phone from seller. In that very moment, deliverer signs contract with digital key, what is an actual guarantee for seller. After deliverer pass mobile phone to receiver, receiver signs digital contract with personal digital key. Finally, after all terms of contract are fulfilled, all participants receive their cryptocurrency share from the contract's wallet. This system gives 100% secured transaction guarantees for every participant. After the contract is closed, each participant gets rating points. This information is added to blockchain too. It gives more confidence for other members to cooperate. If terms of contract are not fulfilled properly, all funds are divided between participants according to pre-agreed rules of contract termination. Delinquent participant loses rating points. It is impossible to make one-side changes in contract terms because blockchain stored on all computers of network at the same time. Despite that, it is possible to make changes if all participants confirm it with a digital key signature. I want to show for more complete understanding the possibilities of Ethereum, how the created on its basis notary network can work. For now, in any country, all creating notary networks are keeping in a big centralized server in form of a common notary register of a country. Physical access is available only for very limited amount of people. If there is a substitution in the registry, this information would be true for all notaries because there is nothing to compare it with. That is why abuses are possible. The centralized system is very vulnerable to system crashes and natural disasters. It became possible to keep all deals in blockchain by using the smart contract, because blockchain is kept by all network members. In this case, there is no possibility of substitution and loss of data. Vitalik Buterin received World Technology Award Premium for the project Ethereum in 2014, leaving Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, and other famous candidates behind. Ethereum project has resolved just one weak side of cryptocurrency: the need of physical member presence as a guarantee in system, who should be trusted by all network members. Unfortunately, all the other disadvantages have not been resolved. What is biometry? I would call biometry as a science about the uniqueness of each living person on the earth, which is based on physiological and behavioral characteristics of a human. The science is bound with our life in real world very much. We are able to distinguish and recognize the people around us because of it. A lot of devices appeared last year that allow to protect the information we have and to organize access systems by help of biometric characteristics. Nature is the greatest creator and experimentalist. Because of this endless experiment, which is outside our human understanding, every second there are billions of events going on around us, in incommensurable huge and small worlds. From the birth of new galaxies to the change of substance characteristics on an atomic level. Thanks to these endless processes, we can see huge diversity of forms, sizes, and characteristics of the world around us. Nature is so talented that each creation is absolutely unique. This uniqueness is inherent in every object around us, as well as in every living creature. There are more than 7 billion people alive on Earth at the same time. Each one of us is absolutely unique and unrepeatable. Thanks to this uniqueness and human memory ability, we can distinguish people and objects around us. An average human can remember and recognize up to 250 people. These people are family members, friends, classmates, colleagues, famous political activists, historical personalities, actors, and musicians. The natural ability of a human to distinguish and to identify other people became the basis of the appearance of such a science as biometry. The word biometry takes its beginning from two Greek words, bios, life, and metreo, to measure. This totality of accurate mathematical algorithms and methods that allow to automatically distinguish, to identify, or to verify people by physiological or behavioral characteristics. Examples of physiological characteristics are DNA structure, fingerprints, arm geometry, face characteristics, iris, retina, geometry of the position of veins on the wrist, hands, and fingers. Behavioral characteristics include features acquired or appeared during the life process, such as dynamics of a signature, features of speech, dynamics of pressing keys, gait features. Quality and reliability of biometric algorithms usually evaluated by two main parameters. False acceptance rate, FAR, characterizes probability of fake biometric characteristics match of two different people. False rejection rate, FRR, characterizes probability of getting false result after comparing new biometric sample with biometric samples in database of the same person. Fingerprint identification. This methodology is popular because it was used a lot in criminology during the previous century. It became an integral method of the obtaining visa process in different countries of the world. Current algorithms and devices can run identification process with speed as fast as 720 million compares per second. It means that without extra data, you can compare a person's identity to all currently living people on Earth in less than 10 seconds. The time frame can be shortened significantly if any extra parameters, such as sex or age, are added. In this case, all unsuitable variants will be ignored and will not be counted during algorithm comparison. It is a popular movie scene when superheroes easily overcome biometric security systems. It is converse in real life. New technologies can get extra human hidden biometric details. For example, it is possible to get blood vessel map and heat face map along with 3D face identification, which is unique. It is possible to get an internal blood vessel arm structure along with fingerprint identification. Blood's ultraviolet absorption ability indicates if this finger belongs to a dead or an alive person. Complex approach makes biometric systems incredibly much more reliable than any existing security systems nowadays. Price of biometric devices always decreases and available for most consumers. Since I use this terminology in my project, I want to demonstrate difference between biometric verification and biometric identification. Every biometric security check means comparison between already existing biometric recorded data based on servers with new, currently analyzed biometric data samples. During the identification process, a new biometric sample goes through comparison with each existing sample before. Biometric identification advantage is that people don't have to carry anything with them. They have all necessary data all the time. Disadvantage is that all data comparison goes sequentially. This process might take additional time consumption and computer power. Verification requires primary ID, for example, RFID card. This card contains the number which stands for person biometric data in this database. In this case, comparison process goes much faster because it is not necessary to check all other samples of the database. Even RFID card loss is not a big problem. During comparison with other people, the system will show negative results. A human came naked to this world. All that he has is a gift from nature, which is displayed by his uniqueness. His documents, social and religious status were not given to him by nature, but by people. That is why all attacks on biometrics are completely groundless. Just like nuclear energy can be used for destruction or for lighting up a garland on a Christmas tree, the same way biometrics can be used for total control of people or for goods, to prevent a person from a loss of the most important he has, his time, that he wastes senselessly for getting document in a huge bureaucratic machine. It is very important that you understand all discussed technologies in this part of presentation. In this case, you can easily and fully understand how ENEBRA project works. We will discuss it in the next part of the presentation. Some of the described technologies are pretty hard to understand because of its complexity. So I advise you to go through this presentation a couple of times, or make additional research about these technologies. Clear understanding of these technologies will help you to follow all major tendencies and directions of technical development of our planet.